Rewind Cast, and we are back with another reaction for the Justice League Zack Snyder cut, and this was epic. What do you think, Justin?
It was great. It was good. It was great. It was everything I was hoping for, and it was good. It was one of those, I guess I could say, those justified moments where everything was just like, everything felt good, everything was coming to place. You finally got to see what Zack Snyder's vision was all about.
Everything was very cohesive.
Yeah, it was good.
Very calm. He took, you could tell this is it's his movie. He took his time with it, and it's his baby, and I'm glad we got to see his baby. Because that Josh Whedon cut, after seeing this, that's got to go.
Yeah,
like, that's got to go. It's got to go.
It's got to go. Yeah. Oh man, like I thought it was gonna be maybe like plugins from like, you know, like maybe like a plugin, but nah, man. Josh Whedon really, whatever Zack Snyder filmed, he basically took that and just chopped it up. He gave it a nice little. He updated the humor. There were scenes in the Snyder cut that were not nowhere to be found in from the Josh Whedon one.
No.
So
especially the comedy parts,
yeah,
all those corny, cheesy jokes. That none of that was there.
Yeah, because when
none of it was apparent, and it worked. It worked because the movie was more not only serious, but it was more cohesive.
Yeah.
So every part of the movie, I love how they broke it into sections.
Yeah.
So if you needed to pause the movie for any reason, you can pause it and go, "Oh, I was on part 2, part 3, or whatever the case may be," which really helped.
Yeah, because I really felt like that they had to do that too as well, because it being a 4-hour long movie.
Yeah,
it was a long movie, but it was not one of those movies that was just like, okay, it's long, but it was put in a way, in a format that even HBO itself, the studio, was like, maybe we could do this like in a mini series or a 4-part series,
right.
Like, you know, like the way they do it with other, you know, other great shows like
WandaVision or
like True Detective.
They're supposed to be movies, but they broke it down to.
Yeah, but HBO is notorious for having great miniseries. So imagine, because HBO was pitching that, because they got Patch Adams, they got True Detective, they're notorious for that. So I kind of, maybe they went that route, it would have been a little bit interesting route. But this was a film. It had to be in the theaters, but it didn't go right the way it went down, because studio differences, you know, for the unfortunate tragedy with his daughter. So,
Warner Brothers Studios.
Yeah, Warner Brothers Studios, man. I don't know.
You guys, y'all owe Zack Snyder a very big apology. Just you guys owe him a very big apology, because he just gave you guys one of the HBO's biggest premieres.
Yeah.
You guys crashed HBO Max. Thank you for that.
Like what I was getting shades of was like it was interesting about, like, you know, the filmmaker. This is what he wanted, and the funny thing about it was just that I just thinking about it. Like, sometimes studios, they like to come in, they like to create their own things, they like to pitch their own ideas, and sometimes what the filmmaker has, you know, in mind, and the creation they have in mind, doesn't really get fulfilled. So this is dope. This is because Zack Snyder is a fan of DC. So for us to see 4 hours of what he wanted,
it's beautiful.
Crazy. Like, that's the type of wave that we're supposed to be on with this movie. That's the type of mentality. Like, it's a fun 4 hour.
Let's talk about the fan service in this movie too.
Oh,
He everything we wanted, he gave us. Yeah. Everything he wanted.
Definitely. He gave us it all. Like, it went from the smallest thing to the biggest thing.
You wanted to see a big war with Steppenwolf? You got that. You wanted to see a lantern? You got that. Although it's not Green Lantern, but still, we got the lantern.
Oh, and
you wanted to see Atlanteans fight? You got the Atlanteans.
And what was that? I can't even say the name of her place where Wonder Woman's from. Themyscira or whatever.
Themyscira, yeah.
What? That fight scene when Steppenwolf first came in, way more better, way more intense.
Oh, yeah.
I was way more invested than the other one. It was just way dope. The opening credits too, like.
And you start to wonder too. You start thinking like, why? Okay, why would you cut out so much of this stuff that Zack already filmed?
Yeah.
And it was golden. Like it wasn't like he, you know, you cut out or you took parts out that were corny. Like the whole movie, or all of Zack Snyder's parts were fucking awesome. They were way better than what Josh Whedon did.
Yeah, I guess probably what I maybe say is just like every filmmaker or director.
To me, that seems like sabotage.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's just because what Zack sees, you know, Josh may not see, whatever, like this and that. So it's all about the creativity, because these guys are seeing something that maybe we didn't see. And to be honest with you, anybody that jumps into something that's mid-production and the studios, and like, first of all, that's a lot of pressure. And then on top of that too, you got to put in your input, then you're gonna chop it up. Like, I feel like every movie that always had like a mid-production scene, like a drastic change, whether it's a character, you always gonna feel the bumps of the movie and stuff like that. The first Justice League was a perfect example.
Like Back to the Future. Same thing with Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, but the funny thing about that story was that they wanted Michael J. Fox from the get,
and then they couldn't
but
get
the studios at the time, the TV studios, they were powerful at that time, and they were like, you guys are not touching Michael J. Fox. So, but thank God, everything went right, and he became that role. But like you said, like imagine if Eric Stoltz movie would have came out, and then Back to the Future would have got released, and then you would have been like, oh, I like the Marty more, like, nah, we don't. It would have been a weird place to be at, but. I'm really happy that...
Actually, we're going to do a video on that whole thing on Back to the Future. Coming very soon.
And that was going to be a special episode.
Yeah, it's a very special episode. So don't worry about that. We got you covered on that one.
Yeah, that one's going to be
So let's get into part one of Justice League. So what'd you think about part one?
Just
opening intro with
the first 4 seconds. It was like part one. Don't count on it, Batman. I felt like I was in a comic book. I felt like I was maybe like... I just got into some cool ride that nobody know about in Six Flags. Like it was just like it was just really like I was like, okay, that is dope. I love the title to the part one, and I was just like, where's this gonna go? And just the opening sequence with like the freaking like the mountains, the snowy
even
mountains,
him talking to Aquaman that changed too. That was longer. The mountain that gave me very Christian Bale Batman Begin vibes when he was climbing the mountain and stuff like that. That was really dope.
That's very very intricate parts of the Batman, the mythology, because he, where he trained and stuff like that. But I just like the way that the people that he was protecting, the Icelandics, and how you fed them and stuff.
And they gave him a send off too.
Yeah,
I mean, people thought it was weird, like them singing.
And not only that, I took Aquaman more seriously because you got this dude come out of nowhere asking for for weird stuff and towns like that. And the people know whatever, but like, why is this guy onto us? And then the first, like the Josh Whedon one, it felt a little bit more like, oh yeah, oh he's on to us. But this one was more serious, like, yo, like you need to step back, bro.
I mean, even when he went into the water was different too, because like in the first one, he had like a bottle of Jack or something. He smashed the bottle of Jack, and then like some rock music played, and he just jumped in the water. This one, it was like a send off. Like the people that he was protecting, they sang to him. And
that was that was in the Bruce Wayne and Aquaman conversation. When
that's very Lost of Atlantis though.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen the animated.
And it's pretty dope too, because you also get to see a lot of people don't know, but these comic books are based on real life mythology, people like real life stories, tales, and stuff like that. That's where a lot of these comic book guys get their inspiration from. And to see that town, think about the folklore of like, the man that comes from the sea and helps us and stuff like that.
And he brings them fish,
but it just happens to be real. And I'm happy that Zack Snyder brought that. See, those are the differences. That's why the movie is way more unique. So that the send off, the Icelandic, the way
so much more character development. Each part. So the first part was Aquaman. You get to see the difference between the first one. And I really love this. This was really good. This is really good filmmaking. This is how a film's supposed to be shot. If it's going to be 4 hours long, because for the most part, a lot of people they have their attention span tends to be a little bit shorter nowadays. I don't know why, but back in the day, we used to watching like 3 to 4 hour films. King Kong, Titanic, like shit like that.
Yeah, and that's why the 4 hour long. That's why I was gonna say, like, if you're gonna jump into this movie, like, somebody's gonna tell you, like, hey, it's a 4 hour movie, and hey, you already know it's a 4 hour. Right. You're gonna get yourself ready for it. But like, for example, like if somebody's gonna when you're gonna get tickets to the movies, and be like, how long is the movie? Oh, the movie's 3 hours. That's one of the heads up you always get when you're about to go see a movie. So if you're over here watching a 4 hour movie and you still complaining that it's too long, dude, it's not like you walked into the theater. You press play on the TV.
You just press the back button. That's it. You don't have to watch something else.
So the movie is meant to be in its entirety. It's a work of art.
That's the beauty of these streaming platforms, which like Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO Max. It's if they release something like that, you can you don't have to watch it. You press play. You don't like it, go back. It's not like you're spending $15, $20 in a movie theater.
Yeah, because back in the day when things were like normal, like sometimes people would do like a random, hey, let me just walk in and kill time and watch this movie. It's not like you just like I got 1 hour and a half to kill, and then you just be like, yo, this thing's still going on. So
you have the option to say no. So that's the good thing.
So don't
say no to this.
Don't say
watch
the
this.
movie's
you have
long.
to watch this.
If you compare the movies long, then you already know like the movie's meant to be long. So like that's just how the role is, and it's long because Zack Snyder had a lot to show and stuff like that. But the one you mentioned with the Icelandic takeoff was nice. The Wonder Woman,
her
scream,
part when she saved the people in the bank was like the coolest shit.
Cool as Yo, like that. Blah blah
The
blah.
bracelets when she. Oh man, it was way
It
faster.
was way more faster, way more intense, way more raw.
Like why would you cut that out?
And it was only like maybe like 30 seconds, 35 seconds.
Just about. It wasn't that long, so you needed to cut that out. Listen, man, Josh Whedon, you screwed up. Anyway. Yeah, that part was really cool. I dug that.
That was dope. I like how they kept it like, because I felt like in the first Justice League they kind of had her like I don't know how to describe it, but like a mother hen, like she was there to like talk to people, this and that. They didn't really show her warrior side. Like
they showed her warrior side.
There's a warrior side. So Zack Snyder was like, no, Wonder Woman is not like that. Wonder Woman's like this. That's why there was like no cheesy old flirting parts and stuff like that. Like they were looking up to her like as like a serious figure.
Yeah.
So I kind of like how they fixed that. And just the way that whole scene with the terrorists, I just can't believe they chopped that up.
I really don't understand that.
That was just a great scene. You know, how jumping through the air, throwing the bomb, like it's crazy. Like it's just a really good movie.
That was hitting this guy with the bracelets at the end, and he flew out the window. Yeah, that was
and what's crazy about it too is like she's still kind of like undercover, so she did all that because when she did the explosion with the ring, you know, the bracelet thing, and all that, half of the building blew up. She knocked out the bad guys, but then the cops down there caught all that debris.
Yeah.
So in other words, saying like, I'll help you, I'll help the people in here, but yeah, I worry about that because at the same time, she still doesn't want to be caught by law enforcement like that. And we learned a lot from that in Wonder Woman 84, how she removed the cameras before she was like show herself in face. So you kind of still see that Diana Prince is still in that arc, that she still wants to keep the Wonder Woman character secretive. But I don't think for that long.
I prefer it that way though.
But you know, eventually they're all gonna come to light because Justice League, when in the comics and you know from everything we love from the shows, that they always been a very popular figure amongst people and stuff like that. So they're gonna she's gonna become famous and stuff like that. She already is because the little girl was like, "Oh, mom, I'm like you."
And also we talked about this too. I wonder if that girl is gonna be
Donna Troy. Yeah, I was thinking about when I saw that, so I was like, Donna Troy, definitely. That'd be good inspiration. You never know, could lead up.
If anybody's not familiar with Donna Troy, that'd be the Wonder Girl character.
That's Wonder Woman's sidekick. Yeah,
also from if you watch Titans, which is on HBO Max, you can check that out. Donna Troy's there.
Yeah, DC. It's a DC show. It's on HBO Max as well. Like you just go on HBO Max, I got this whole section just for DC.
It literally just says DC. Go to the hub and you just see DC. Click that, and you'll just there's a ton of.
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of DC content from Watchmen to Doom Patrol to Harley Quinn. So that's a good spot right there.
Listen, Marvel isn't the only one with a lot of stuff. Okay, we have a lot of footage. Just check out DC a little bit more often.
Yeah, but I could pretty much say that part right there was pretty good. The second part was pretty cool though. Part 2 was called Age of Heroes.
Age of Heroes.
So you kind of already got the feel that like okay, like the first part was all about you know the warnings that Steppenwolf was gonna show up, that Batman's still on the recruiting. And then you kind of see the finalizing of the recruitment in part 2 with the Age of Heroes, which is a cool title.
Yeah, and you know it was better how they got together this time rather than in the first movie. I dug it that way because it took a little time. It wasn't as easy as as you watch like the animated series or in the comics even, where they just meet up and it's like, oh yeah, let's go save the world. Or this, like, it took character development. It took a little bit of time for them to get to know each other. And then when they finally do, you're like, oh shit, okay, this is a very cohesive team, which is really good. And
what's cool about it too, it was like they were all recruited. Some were recruited by Batman and Wonder Woman and things like that. And they got the gist of it, and they just worked together. There wasn't more. It wasn't more not like it wasn't. I'll do my thing. You do your thing like that. They got together and actually formed the team. Yeah, they actually formed the team. So that was pretty cool to see that. And also just before I jump into the whole like Cyborg thing, because Cyborg is key to this movie. If you guys don't really know the mythology of Cyborg, look it up. Wikipedia, go on YouTube, search it online. Cyborg is a very, very huge character in DC. Sometimes he gets it is the same character from the Titan shows and stuff like that because he jumps back and forth. In other words, he was a Titan, he was part of Young Justice, but eventually he gets he gets promoted because this guy Cyborg is no joke. So I'm kind of glad that we kind of finally see the whole Cyborg part of it because in the Joss Whedon one, it was just felt you could just
you saw him maybe a few parts of the movie, but he had no big lines, no arc, and this movie gave it to him. He deserved, because in Justice League War, if you guys read the comics or you saw the animated series, in that comic, Cyborg is he's the one that talks to the mother boxes. So he's a very big character, and he's a very crucial part to the story. They didn't do that in the first Justice League. Adding him and adding his whole story, because it felt like a whole fleshed out character. It was really, really deep, and I respected that and I appreciated that. So thank you, Zack Snyder, for doing that.
And not only that, it's just like he wanted to do it. It's like he just couldn't. They just took it out because then when you think about it, excuse me, Cyclops. Oh wow, I'm going through a DC thing. Cyborg. Basically, he's very. There's so many of them. And then he's very linked to the mother box. So you saw that in the first Justice League. You're like, oh, okay, what's going on with that? Like he's linked to it. And then even Steppenwolf mentions it. You could tell like that was like a quick desperation to patch things up, just to connect. He was like, oh, you're from Mother, you're Mother, because he kept calling the boxes Mother. Yeah. He kept calling it Mother, and but now you get to see that, and not only that, the foreshadowing too that Cyborg could do just by linking with the boxes. The way he saw Doomsday in the future, like the end of the world, the apocalypse, and stuff like that.
Also, like how the side kept coming to check on him, and like telling him like, dude, like you're screwing up. Yeah. You gotta grab one of these boxes.
Yeah, a lot of that too, because the side is basically he's the right hand man to Darkseid. Steppenwolf is more like the soldier, and he listens to him. Like if the Darkseid goes, go get that planet.
But his minions, like the people that he keeps noticing, like his side and Brandon Goodness.
Yeah, and then that's another thing too. What I liked about it too. You get to see like the villains, and why Steppenwolf wants to do this, why Darkseid wants to show up, and it's just that these guys were just basically exterminators, man.
Oh wait, real quick. Also, if you guys have a question about like any of these characters, trust me, we can. If you just write in the comment section, we'll do a full breakdown on that character. If you guys are like unfamiliar, we got you. No worries.
Yeah,
this is the rewind.
Definitely, we'll do that. Darkseid, the whole, we got to finally see the villains. We got to finally see why they wanted to do this, and it was like we was talking about that these guys were just exterminators. They just like evaporate planets for fun, and they took a hard L with our planet, with Earth, and that was like years ago. Then
when they
Wonder
fought
Woman,
the Atlanteans, the
that was another crazy scene too. We gotta talk about that scene with Zeus and freaking Ares, and I was just like, what? Then there was lanterns. It was crazy. Like it was all hands on.
Seen Ares and Zeus?
Yeah, and I'm just man, like we could do this. We could like spoil it out, right? Yo, that chop that Ares did.
Listen, look, this whole. If you guys didn't see the movie, go watch the movie. There are plenty of spoilers in here. I forgot to put that in the beginning of this shit, but you know what? I'm gonna put that in the bottom on the title, so you guys know it's not a. Just watch the movie before you watch this, and come back and watch it.
So that whole scene right there was epic. Like that was dope. Like to see Darkseid and to see the Omega sign, the foreshadowing. We had a lot of injustice feel to it with an evil Superman, and I believe that was Lois Lane melted on the floor while he was crying.
On the floor, yeah. In that vision when Cyborg touched the mother boxes, yeah, that was definitely Lois Lane.
So you never know, man. Like this is dope. This 4-hour movie was dope. And who knows that they're saying that Zack Snyder might not really come back to it, or he might not do another movie for a long time. He's gonna take a break.
He'll might take a break, but he'll definitely do.
He definitely left the stepping stones for the next people to come in. So I'm hoping that Warner Brothers gets the right people, the right creativity, the right writers, the right directors, any direction, and so they could see Zack Snyder's vision, and they could actually see how the fans are reacting.
And make it come to life.
And make it come to life, because they have access. Disney's not the only one with Disney Plus than just the movies. They got HBO. So
there's a lot. I don't want to hear anything about money. There's plenty of money.
They could really push a Green Lantern series, and they could link it to the next Justice League.
Well, that's HBO's next thing. They're doing a HBO Max Green Lantern. They're doing a Ben Affleck Batman version on. It's basically what Ben Affleck was supposed to do in his movie when he was supposed to direct before he had his mishaps or whatever. Him and Matt Reeves had created a story where it was Deathstroke was the main villain, and he had he would start from the bottom of Arkham, and then go to the top of Arkham, and then like I don't know if anybody's familiar with the movie Raid. You have to you start from the bottom and you take down those villains, you go all the way to the top, and you fight like the main villain. The main villain was supposed to be Deathstroke. So what they're gonna do with the HBO Max show, according to sources, literally it's just that he's gonna be the villain, and they're gonna just flesh it out into a TV show, which is gonna be pretty dope. So,
and who knows that we may already have a little prequel for that, because just today it dropped the Justice League Gray, and
he has an extended version of the Justice League coming out. So That's gonna
Remember, people like this is all just basically just extensions of what he wanted, and it's the DC universe because we still got a lot.
And I think if we see that, he's definitely gonna show if he's gonna come back to the next movie or not.
Yeah.
If he's gonna make a part 2 or not.
Yeah, he's gonna come part. Yeah, I hope he does, and it'd be kind of cool. But I really feel like with this movie as his legacy, he wrote, he leaving the stepping stones for the next people to take over. Because I know when they casted Robert Pattinson as the Batman, and then you had the standalone Joker.
But Matt Reeves already from the beginning, before
Yeah.
anybody did anything, he said,
Yeah.
"Yo, this is just these are 3 movies I'm gonna do by myself.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not gonna tie in yet. Once I'm done, yeah, you guys can like add Robert Pattinson if you want."
So, but then it almost felt like with the studio, they were like, okay, so I guess this is it. I guess that that was short lived with with Justice League but now with this movie, so whatever intentions they had of like an Aquaman 2 and 3, now it's gonna happen. Now a Wonder Woman 3 movie.
Now they have to. They have no choice.
So now like it re-enlighted that fire that actually they were supposed to rock out the Justice League a long time ago. We're not even supposed to be having this conversation about a Snyder.
Josh Reed actually before he came back to do finish what Zack Snyder was supposed to do, he was supposed to be the director for the Justice League. This is when after he did Avengers and shit like that. But I think Greg Berlanti, the guy who made the original Green Lantern, when that movie bombed, I guess they fell out and he didn't want to do it. So Greg Berlanti went and he started doing TV shows. Like he started doing Arrow and Flash. And now we have the Arrowverse. And but he was supposed to do that a long time ago. So thank God he didn't do it, because then that probably would have been definitely would have tanked.
Yeah. Like I say, man, sometimes these things get pitched and they sound cool, and sometimes the thing with the internet too is like all these sources get leaked and all these backstories get leaked, so there's always a lot of confusion and stuff like that. And I could probably pretty much say that maybe with Warner Brothers failures is just because their stuff was out in the open, or they probably show way too much footage. Like, so I'm really hoping that they reshape that, reshape it, because they have the stories. DC has the stories. It doesn't necessarily have to just be one big Batman film every 3 years and and TV. Like, you guys have characters that you could show, and basically superheroes that they probably don't even have, there's fans waiting for them. There's people that have not yet seen a Green Arrow, have not yet seen an Aqualad. Like, there's people that are going to be curious on that, and if you really
or even the people that have seen Arrow on TV want to see it in the movie.
Like that, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So they have the materials, they have the resources. They just gotta basically just take, they gotta execute it. So I'm hoping that Zack Snyder really changes the game for when it comes to treating DC, that DC platform. Mm-hmm. So, and enough of the thing with Marvel, the back and forth. Marvel's his own lane, DC his own lane.
Yeah, first of all, if you're a Marvel fan, cool. I'm gonna talk Marvel with you. If you're a DC fan, bro, obviously we're gonna talk DC. But we don't like to argue. We don't like to beef. There's no need. There's too many of us. We love superheroes, man. Like, we don't need to beef. When Warner Brothers and Disney go, okay, let's do a fucking crossover, and then they'll have DC versus Justice League or DC versus Marvel, then we could do that. But chill.
Well, it's just it's funny, but like I said, things are when it comes to comic books and stuff like that, it's all the artwork and it's all about it being portrayed. Like DC is more dark tone, it's way more serious. Marvel's a little bit more lighter, a little bit more campy. Even though it does have its dark moments, I ain't gonna front. WandaVision kind of scared the shit out of me. There was a couple of creepy scenes there, and I can't wait for.
Which is creepy.
Yeah, so I can't wait for what they're gonna go with that. But it's way more dark tone, way more serious, and basically that's just how the DC was built. We have basically high strung, glorified superheroes. Like, come on, there's one Superman, there's one Batman. So, but I feel like we already kind of showed those guys enough already, and I really feel like it opens the door to the rest of the Justice League, because there's so many characters, and there's so many great actors and directors out there that will probably do these characters justice.
And like we said before, if you guys want to get familiar with some of these characters, just go on HBO Max. They have just go to the DC section and just go and just scroll, have fun. There's so much footage, and these shows are good. It's not like there's nothing bad that we have. We have good content.
It was like I could say, the first couple of parts, it was good. I believe that we're gonna do the second video for the rest of the movie, right? The second review.
Yeah, we're gonna do. This is our first 1 through 4 breakdown. Because remember, this movie's 4 hours long, so we have to break it down into 2 videos. But check out our next video, which is Falcon and Winter Soldier review. Definitely looking forward to that. Also, like I said, guys, the subscribers, if you guys want to email me for these mugs, you get one of those for free, and then you get a cool ass freaking refrigerator magnet.
That's right.
Also, I got the hoodies coming really soon. So yeah, inbox me at JCIN27. The link is in the description. Like and follow and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you guys like dig our content and want to get updated about new stuff. So just check us out, man. This is the Rewind.
Hey, buddy, you better rewind that.